What are the things that LSU's got to do this week to beat Texas A&M? It's something that you and I talk about every single week when we play every single opponent. What are the things that LSU's got to do this week to beat an opponent? This week you go up against a top 5 team in Texas A&M, a team this year that has shown so many explosive things that they can do offensively, a team that has shown that they got a really good running game, a very physical offensive line, a quarterback that can push the ball down the field and is very mobile and can be explosive in his own right. What do you got to do this week to beat a team that's a top 3 team in the country? Number one, I think you got to pray a little bit, but that's neither here nor there. I look at Texas A&M in a lot of ways. I look at them from a deep dive perspective and watching every game that they've played this year, whether it be UTSA or whether it be Arkansas last week. I look at a team in Texas A&M, whether they're playing Auburn and they're struggling to move the ball against a really good defense and they're shooting themselves in the foot. Or I look at a Texas A&M team who goes up to Notre Dame in a hostile environment on the road and gets a signature win in the Mike Elko era at the time against a top 15 team. Regardless of the game, regardless of a situation, they are a very, very good football team. They can beat you in any way possible. If defensively they got to suffocate you, they've shown that they can do that. If they got to go toe-to-toe and throw punches with you and score as many points as they can to beat you, they will do that. If they got to throw the ball around, they'll do it. If they got to run the ball, they'll do it. If they need to pressure a quarterback because he's just going to sit in the pocket, they'll do it. There is one thing, though, that they have not shown in any one of those games that consistently that they can do it enough. The one thing Garrett Nussmeier has got to do this week is run the football. Blake, it's not his strength. It's not. This Texas A&M team, whether it be last week versus Arkansas, whether it be week 1 versus UTSA, they will be undisciplined and they will get out of gap and get out of assignment in their pass lanes and in their run lanes. They keep showing it every single week. So again, it might have just been a week 1 problem in the beginning of the season. Well, the problem with it just being a week 1 problem is it showed up again last week on you against Arkansas. But LSU isn't Arkansas, and LSU doesn't have a quarterback that is effective and athletic enough like Taylor Green. The game plan for LSU this week from Joe Sloan is very simple, and it better be very simple because you got to start getting a little bit more simple because you're not doing shit. Garrett has got to get 2 reads, find a lane, and run the damn ball. Teams continue to find ways in the passing game to be able that when they're finding those lanes, get positive yards. Like I look at Jackson Arnold as an example. In Auburn, if he wasn't so crazy sometimes and sitting in the pocket and just holding on to the football and not throwing the football, and if he just actually had a clock of timing, maybe this wouldn't have been so bad. But I look at Jackson Arnold and say, damn, dude, he got 62 net rushing yards when you take sacks out. Taylor Green got over 120 yards. Well, how did that happen? And the first thing that you would think is, all right, well, they just ran the football with him. They didn't. No, Taylor Green had some design runs. I'm not saying he didn't. So did Jackson Arnold. I'm not saying they didn't. But I look at Jackson Arnold and say, damn, 6 times that he's on a drop back is scrambling because Texas A&M is not in their proper rush lanes and he goes and gets a first down? I look at Taylor Green and see him doing the exact same thing last week. I see C.J. Carr. Guys, it's the biggest weakness that I see. I don't think it's a debate at this point. I think that every team has shown you where A&M will give up yards, and you have a problem with getting yards and points. It is of my humble opinion, to be quite frank with you, that I don't think Garrett is the right player to be able to do that because he's not. He's not that level of guy. So one of 2 things are going to happen. You're going to have to limit Texas A&M and their ability offensively to just remotely be on the field. You're going to have to find a way to suffocate them in time of possession. You're going to have to find a way that to do kind of, in theory, not principle, what Vanderbilt did to you literally last Saturday. And I'm only talking about time of possession because Garrett's not going to scramble like Pavia. You're not going to run a triple option, zone read triple option, and pitch it to a wide receiver. You're not even going to run the jet sweeps that Vanderbilt ran last week because you haven't shown it all year. But the principle remains the same. The principle is the same where, guys, they have an explosive offense. And the name of the game to beating the number 3 team in the country at home at night in what might be a rainy environment with arguably one of, I don't think he is the best, but one of, if not your best defensive players in Whit Weeks, you're going to have to keep that explosive offense off of the field. And the only way that you do that is first downs. It's the only way that you can sustain it. I don't really have faith that you can do it. But I'm giving you the blueprint. The blueprint for me this week is simple. The number one thing LSU has got to do this week, in my opinion, you're going to have to hit some of these short routes like you did to start off the game versus Vanderbilt. So what? It's getting 5, 6, 7 yards. I could care less. Until they take it away from you constantly and consistently. Get to 2 reads or get out of there. Because it's of my opinion that you have to suffocate this A&M team and stay on the field and win the time of possession to keep Marcel Reed and Concepcion and Mario Craver in that tight end room and that offensive line that wants to be physical. They can't see the field. And you got to give your defense a rest to give them a chance to be able to go toe-to-toe with that explosiveness. Slants, screens, outs, drags. Something that doesn't take a long time for Garrett Nussmeier to have to throw with a very bad and struggling offensive line. Why, by the way, on 3rd and 5 last week, are you running routes that are down the field with a bad offensive line? Like, I sit here and ask myself the question, over and over again, you've been in some conducive, some very productive 3rd down situations, and you're running a dig route with Chris Hilton. You're running a fade route with Barrion Brown. And I look at it and say, well, man, you're moving the sticks. And then all of a sudden, everything that you're doing to move the sticks early in the game versus Vanderbilt, you completely abandon. You're not attacking the middle of the field. You don't get Kyle Parker involved. And what are the things that were working in the passing game outside of 2 flukish, and I mean very flukish plays? Well, I'm getting the ball quickly to Kyle Parker. I'm getting the ball quickly over the middle of the field to Aaron Anderson. I'm getting the ball quickly to Tradez Green. If you have a shot in this game, it comes down to one damn thing. You cannot go toe-to-toe with them and go punch for punch offensively. You just can't. And what you also can't do is keep asking a defense that is beat up to run out there and constantly have to get you stops. Not saying that they can't, like they're not going to have to get you stops. They got to get you stops clearly to win this game. But if you keep doing what you're doing offensively, if your same philosophy is to continue to ram your head up against the wall and not methodically do things, let's be simple in our process, because right now we are doing too much. Guys, you don't stand a chance. I don't think that you can outscore this team, clearly. If you do find a way to do that, if you do find a way to, for one time, get over 25 points scoring from your offense, it would be an early Christmas miracle. But there's no faith that I have in it. Whether you want to blame the offensive line, which is very warranted in you doing, the run game, which is very warranted in you doing, you want to blame the pass rush to the quarterback, the play calling, it's a mixture of all of it. But for once, I would love to see a game where you just make quick decisions. Like, for an example, you're moving the ball in the first drive last week. Keep throwing Barryon Brown the ball. Keep handing the ball off to Harlan Berry. Why are you going away from that? Throw the ball to Trey'Dez Green. Don't go away from him in the second half. Why are you doing that? Well, Blake, we didn't run enough plays to be able to do it. That's on you because you're not sustaining drives when clearly your defense can't get off the field. You can't be in panic mode. You can't keep going and trying to take shots, especially from your quarterback, where your quarterback's constantly changing plays. I got to be real with you. We'll talk about this next. I'm telling Garrett that he can't make decisions. I'm telling Garrett Nussmeier and Blake, what do you mean you can't make decisions? He can't change the play at the line of scrimmage. This can't be what he wants to do. Run the play. Unless you know for an outright certainty that it's not going to work, run the play. Because everything that you're doing at the line of scrimmage is wrong. You're not getting your offensive line in right protections. You're not telling your running back to pick up the right guys. We've already done film studies in reference to that. People that have already done film studies have done that. You got to methodically find a way to hold on to the football. If you're going to run the ball with Harlan Berry and you, by the grace of God, find a way to get 3 to 4 yards of carry, then line it up again and try it again. Stop trying to pad your stats. If you're the OC and the coordinator, or you're the OC and Joe Sloan, or you're the quarterback and Garrett Nussmeier, don't throw the RPO because your decision's wrong. And quite honestly, if it's a mental thing that's going on here and he's not making the right decisions, by all means, pull him. Guys, I don't know what other choices that you have. I don't. You can label me whatever you want. But if you go into this game doing the same exact stupid shit that you've been doing, you won't win. You're going to have to suffocate that time of possession. You do not win this game without winning the time of possession. You don't. Unless you find something you have not done all year, which, guys, I want you to do it. I want you to find a way to do something you haven't done all year. I pray to God that they don't. But at 9 games in, we're at week 9. Why should I have any faith that you will do that? Slants, outs, drags, screens, do whatever you got to do. I'd advocate for you to stop throwing RPO screens, to be blunt with you. But what keeps having success? What are the plays that you're having success with? I don't care what Garrett likes or dislikes. What are the plays that actually are having success? Run them. Run them. I think Garrett's got to find a way. Guys, you do not walk out of this game, by the way. You don't walk out of it if he doesn't have 5 rushes for 20 yards. Won't happen. He's going to have to find a way to pick up some first downs and keep drives alive. You won't win. Your legacy's on the line this week, big dog. Like, your legacy as an LSU Tiger quarterback is on the line. It's kind of already been on the line. I get it. You've been hurt. You're not hurt right now. You're not. Guys, let's just be real. You can't throw the ball down the field, then don't do it. You have a quarterback that can't hit it, or you have receivers that can't do it, then don't do it. A&M might walk everybody down. Sounds good. You're not hitting them anyway. You might need to go a little West Coast principle. There is nothing wrong with methodically moving the ball down the field. If they want to walk up and they want to take it all away from you, then fine. You're going to have to try to push the ball down the field. I get that. I'm not saying do it every single play. But you're going to have to give these wide receivers an opportunity over and over and over again and get them the ball quickly. It takes away the pass rush. It takes away the decision making. It takes away all of the things that you have been very bad at. What's taking you so goddamn long? I really feel like when I watch this offense and the way that the games are called, I feel like that I lose brain cells. It takes years off of my life. Simplify. Just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, we used to call all of our short passing game stuff underneath, we used to go 100s. We call it 100s. Go full air raid if you got to. Joe Sloan came from an air raid principle offense, and he's not doing it. He simply isn't doing it at all. Did he not learn? Does he not know? I don't know. But you better hit a lot of stuff underneath. Get 6 yards. Get 5 yards. Get 6 yards. Get 5 yards. Have a 14 fucking play drive for all I care and hold on to that football. Hold on to that ball, Petey. You're not winning if you don't do it. Your receiver room is going to have to make some big plays. But if Garrett Nussmeier doesn't get quick and precise decisions on slants, outs, things of those nature, hitches, if you're not giving him drags, if you're not giving him 1 precise, 2 precise, quick decisions, then get out of the pocket and go get yards. Because I keep hearing your offensive line is shit. Sounds good. Then why are you dropping back 8? If you're in 3rd and 8, I would rather you right now try to get it by running an 8-yard route and getting at the sticks. Go trips right, all hitch. Everybody run a hitch. Whoever's open, throw it to them. Do something. You constantly keep doing stuff that you're not any good at. Guys, Vanderbilt was running quarters defense where you got everybody taking away a quarter of the field in zone. Newsflash, when teams run quarters on you, everything past 10 yards, they go man. Everything past 10 yards on the guy that they're on, they'll go man. They're telling you to hit everything underneath. And you refuse to do it. Pro Football Focus. Teams run quarters coverage on LSU more than any other team in the SEC. And that took some digging. They're giving you the underneath shit, and you refuse to throw it. If Garrett doesn't want to make quick decisions, he doesn't want to run the football when they're going to be out of their run lanes and they're going to be out of their rush lanes, I should say, then make a move. Their biggest weakness right now, A&M, in my humble opinion, is staying disciplined. And sometimes the safeties will get lost in coverage. Hit some shit underneath and let them make the tackle. I think you got to stay with the running game even though you guys don't believe in it. I get it. I understand it. Guys, regardless if you're breaking off big plays or not, the last 2 weeks you've run for 6 yards a carry. I do think athletically, this is a better defensive front that you've seen. I think York is a beast. But you got to find a way. I do ask myself a question sometimes, like why we're throwing quick screens and RPO screens to wide receivers and never want to try to get a running back out in the flat and throw him the football quickly and try to go get 6 yards like Harlem Berry. When's the last time that you've thrown Harlem Berry or Caden Durham something in the flat, let him catch it and go get 6 and see if they can break a tackle on a linebacker? When's the last time you've done that? I don't know if it's the last 2 opponents that you've played on why you've had some success in the run game, or you are just getting better in some instances. Now, Vanderbilt is 12th in the country in run defense, and South Carolina is in the top 30 in run defense. South Carolina defensively, as bad as they've been this year, they are not bad defensively. They're not bad. Their front seven's not bad. Well, Blake, sometimes we run the ball and we don't get any yardage. Do y'all watch football around the country? Please tell me that you watch football elsewhere around the country. Because if you say, there's some runs where we get no yards. If you're that stupid, then you're not watching everybody else who the same exact thing happens. Guys, you hold teams. You were holding Alexander in the first quarter last week to no gain, 1 yard. And they lined up and ran it right back at you, and there wasn't shit you can do about it. We get so scared when we only get 1 yard in the run game, our butthole gets so tight you couldn't fit a greased BB in it. Pause. We get scared. I know Halloween's right around the corner, but this ain't spooky season. Guys, regardless of how you're doing it, you're going to have to take the decisions away from Garrett and try to see if you can get any running game at all going. Guys, you haven't had a 100-yard rusher all year, by the way. I don't know the last time. I think Caden Durham, maybe South Carolina last year, was the last time you did it. Maybe. I don't remember. Maybe it was South Alabama. I don't remember the game. Six yards a carry, 6 yards a carry. Whether it comes right now or it comes throughout the game, go get it. I don't know if you're going to be able to do that either. Let's talk about defense a little bit here. Look, the things that you're going to have to do this week, the must. Number one, guys, listen, I am all but certain and just going to concede. Like I'm conceding right now that we're going to give up big plays in the secondary. I'm already conceding it. Now, you can't give up a lot because if you give up a lot, you're going to lose. I am doing everything humanly possible, everything in my power to take away the run game from Marcel Reed. They have Reuben Owens. They have a very physical offensive line. Guys, I got to be real with you. You tried to do this last week and it didn't work. You tried to crowd the box and they ran it right at you. And you were so unfundamentally sound, you got your ass whooped. Well, if you unfundamentally sound this week, Marcel Reed, who is a better athlete than Diego Pavia, will light you up like a Christmas tree on Christmas morning. You will get your ass torn up. You will get torn up like eating Taco Bell late at night at 12 a.m. and you go home and you're like, I probably, after drinking all night, shouldn't have done that. It will tear you up. Guys, there's a lot of things that they do, and you got to try to find a way to take it away from them in the run game. Guys, they're not that difficult to figure out in the run game. They're going to run zone read. They're going to run an inverted veer right and left. It's not that difficult. Wherever the running back is lined up in the option game, they're going to run the veer to it or the opposite side of it. So on a veer, if the running back's to the left, this edge is going to get red on. Not that difficult. They're going to run inside and outside zone, and they're going to run power. It's not like last week where they're going to find a way to do a jet sweep, fake, and have a triple option principle behind it. So a jet sweep, read, and then a pitch on an option. There's not that many. They're not going to do that, but they are going to line up and try to bust you in your shit. This is a man v man game. They will do some things like that. They'll run a jet sweep to Concepcion every now and then. Their run game is they want to go downhill on your ass. And quite honestly, I'm doing everything I'm doing everything humanly possible to take it away. I am putting AJ Halsey on a man coverage on the tight end, and I'm saying walk down in the box. Perk, if you can't keep contained, you're out. You're out. You got to maintain, and you got to take away the run game from Marcel Reed. When teams have limited him in doing that, whether it be Auburn, whether it be Notre Dame in the mid 20 minutes of the game, it doesn't matter. If you're making him sit back in that pocket and throw the football around, he will be inaccurate, and that is your chance to win. If they're running the ball 3, 4, 5 yards to carry on you, you're losing because they're going to open it up and you're toast. I have more faith. I have faith in your secondary that they, not every play, but they can come through for you. But the God's honest truth is, guys, I have zero faith after last week that you can contain a quarterback and that you will know what to do in your principles on zone read and inverted veers. I don't. So put as many bodies around that sumbitch and try to find out a way. Try to find a way. I'm not going full engage 8 like this is Madden or some shit, but I'm walking everybody down and say, listen, I'm going to play a free man, and I know they can beat us deep. I'm going to make you consistently do that. And if they do, fine. And if they keep doing it, fine. Then back out if you need to. But there's no way early in this game that I am allowing them to run the football in Death Valley on me again. Again. Everything that Colin Klein does, everything is set up through the run game. How people don't see that is beyond me, but the play action shots, it comes based off of, oh, shit, they're running the ball again. You're going to have to find a way to take it away. Guys, you got to contain. You got to stop the run, and that's really all that I want you to do defensively. If you're going to give up explosive plays, you're going to give up explosive plays. On Wednesdays, we do things you must do and not do to beat or to we talk about the things you must do to win the game and things you must not do to lose it. Guys, everything I just said on things that you must do, the don't do the opposite. Don't be an undisciplined, unorganized football team. Don't let your quarterback make dumb decisions. Limit those decisions by your play calling. You might not be able to run the ball, but it doesn't mean you go away from it because you're so scared. If your quarterback is still making bad decisions, pull him. Maybe Michael Van Buren doesn't want to go. I don't know. Maybe he wants a red shirt. I don't know. But, man, what other choice do you have? You can't lose contain on Marcel Reed. I'm conceding that they're going to hit big shots on you. You got to be a sound, fundamentally sound football team, or you're going to lose this week. They busted your ass open last year because you weren't. And quite frankly, you weren't a physical football team. You're heading in that same path this week. This was the game last year that turned your season completely upside down. Because they showed something and they kept running the same play over and over again because you had no idea how to stop it. You better find out a way this year, because then you're going to be staring being 5-3 in the face. The last thing I'd say before we get to a break, and we'll come back and get some super chats here. There are literally jobs on the line this week. I'm going to say that again. Whether people want to admit it or not, listen to me. Jobs are on the line this week. I didn't say Brian Kelly's job was on the line this week. Jobs are on the line this week. How are you going to go out? This fan base, this administration has lost faith in you offensively. In the offseason, you should have prepared better. You didn't. You didn't. Your manhood's getting tested this week. I say this every week, but Joe Sloan, Cortez, Garrett, this entire offensive line, BK, your manhood of where people think that this team is tested. Your legacies at this program is tested. People see you have 2 losses on the road. They thought that you were going to be a playoff team. This is not what people thought that you were going to be. Well, go show them something different.